Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and today I want to do a video talking about the WarZ. Now, some of you guys know I've been kind of crazy about DayZ, really into it, having a good time, as are a lot of you guys, both guys I play with, people I haven't. So I wanted to, I'm imagining that a lot of you guys are interested in what the WarZ is about. I did the video about, the competition between DayZ and WarZ, and I got a lot of comments, both Twitter, private messages, all that, asking me a lot of questions. Basically, what do I think of WarZ? Do I think I'm going to play WarZ? Do you think it's going to beat DayZ? Which game should I buy? All these crazy things. And so I wanted to do a bigger video looking at WarZ, trying to give you guys a little idea what WarZ is, trying to educate myself too, and my thoughts on that. So let me first preface everything by saying this is going to be a long video. If you're casually just watching one of my videos and just kind of walking by and looking in the storefront, so to speak, move on. Find another video. It's going to be long. There's no real exciting footage at all. I'm just going to be, flipping some screenshots along in the background. So, if you're just kind of popping on my server, checking something out, try another one. Move on now, you please. But if you're like me, and you're playing a lot of DayZ, you're curious about WarZ, where it's going, what's it going to be, then please listen on, because not only, what I appreciate you watching, I want to hear your feedback, your thoughts, as I always do. So, basically, like I said, I'm just warning you, it's going to be long. It's not flashy gameplay by any means. Think of it almost as a little mini podcast. You're safe to minimize it, put it in the background, just listen to the audio. Like I said, I'm only going to scroll screenshots and my scruffy face, it looks like I just left the zombie apocalypse. I'm actually home with my son now, who's sick, who caught what my wife had on Friday. So it didn't work Friday, didn't work Monday. It has been a long weekend. I'm ready to go back to work, let me tell you. That's totally different tangent. Let's not suck up more time. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it. I'm basically going to, this is all from their FAQs, from their website. It's official information. I'm not going to tell you who the quotes are attributed to. It is just attributed to their development team. These are not Twitter rumors, forum rumors, Reddit rumors, nothing. This is right off of their website. I basically went down all their FAQs, yanked out what I thought was interesting, their comment, then I will comment on it and tell you what I think. I would love to hear what you guys think. Please. I know I'm going to get some WarZ fanboys that are going to come in and defend the game or whatever I criticize. Understand, these are my thoughts, this is my channel, and you're welcome to comment. Please keep it mature, and let's open a dialogue, let's talk, let's see what the game's about. That's what we're all interested in here. We want it to be a good game. That's what we all want. No matter how skeptical you are, we'd all love to see it be successful, huge, and be a huge rival to DayZ that is also huge and successful, because then we got two kick-ass games to play, and that's the bottom line. That's all I want. But as I always with this channel, I try to educate people, try to educate myself, and open a discussion. So please keep it mature, keep it on point, and let's have a good time. So right into it right now. Going to start out right with the first one. What makes WarZ different to DayZ? Now, first I got to say, some of these things I'm going to be reading because this is how I copy paste it. I get a feeling that some of the developers, English is not their first language. Some of this stuff is a little chunky, not written out the best way, translation wise. So if it sounds very weird, trust me, Kulprit can read. It's just a little weird. So, like I said, I think some of them might have got lost in translation. Some of the words are mixed up, so you might see me struggle with that. That's why. So what makes WarZ different to DayZ? Their answer, I think that our biggest difference is that WarZ is built around a game world and concept that you have to cooperate with other players to survive. If you go over a list of features, most of them are not gameplay elements. They're tools created for players to try different ways to interact with other players. And this is odd that I think it's unfair to compare the two products. DayZ spent 90% of the time putting zombies into a world of hardcore military sim. We spent 90% of the time designing new ways for players to interact with each other in a world. And okay, this world happened to be a zombie-infested apocalypse. Everything else, zombie survival aspect, scavenging for food, etc., it's all there. But I don't think it'll matter if we deliver a living, breathing world that means players to build their own gaming experience. And I happen to agree. Yes, they're incredibly similar on a lot of facets. But that doesn't make this a copycat game. I could care less if they copied them. I really could. It doesn't make a lick of difference to me as a gamer. That's like saying, Call of Duty, Battlefield 3 copied Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike copied 007. It's stupid. Who cares? If the games are kick-ass, I'm gonna play them. And I think you guys are too. So let's just ignore that. I don't care. Ethics, all that. If they infringe on anybody's copyright, it's up to them to sue them and take legal action. Not us as gamers. I don't care. This sounds like fluff to me, the DayZ. I mean, it's true, DayZ, 90% putting zombies into military sim. That's true, and we've all played it. We know that they've obviously crammed this zombie survival mode into a military simulator, and it fits very well in places, but it doesn't fit very well in places. But they're telling us that, and this is what DayZ said. This is what everybody always says. We give you the tools to build your environment and shape your environment and your experience. That's what every game says. World of Warcraft, all these. That's all they say. So those are buzzwords. So I mean, that's just fluff, but that's just them saying some, almost their statement of intent, I guess. Excuse my dogs are barking in the moment it's going by. Next point would be how does zombie combat work? And the bottom line is you have to destroy their brain. Why? Because that's the typical zombie lore, which I happen to agree with. I mean, you go back, you gotta kill the brain, headshot, by using either a gun to hit their head with a knife, baseball bat, any other melee weapon. If you shoot them in the body, you'll be able to slow them down temporarily, and you can even put them out. I guess there's some kind of knock them out. They say temporarily put them down. So basically, what you do is you're not a great shot, or you're getting hit by them. Shoot them in the leg, shoot them in the chest. They'll be crawlers. Then you can theoretically get away. That's how I read that. I'm not sure how this is gonna. It's gonna obviously make zombies more difficult, especially multiple engagements. As you know, it's pretty hard in DayZ as it is. You always want to get the headshot, but sometimes you just forego that to hit them center mass. Could be interesting. Could be a different wrinkle. This probably stays truer to zombie, lore, I guess you'd say. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. That's going to be one of their differentiating features, I guess. Will zombies' movement be fast or slow? Our zombies are moving slightly slower than you are. So, with enough patience and enough stamina, you can lose them. But it's not easy to do. Still, you don't have a gun or run out of ammo and there's zombies in pursuit, there's a good chance you could lose them. Also, zombies can't climb ladders or scale walls, open doors, etc. So if you get inside a house and barricade the door, you should be safe. Alright, I don't have too much of a problem with this. I mean, I think we all know that, the DayZ zombies can't catch you if you keep running. So that's pretty similar. It's the same idea. They're a little slower than you. That's fine. I've heard they're more, they're more, again, they're sticking close to the lore of slower zombie moving, shuffling, that kind of thing. So you can get away. It's similar in DayZ. It's really going to be about the line of sight, breaking line of sight, because that's usually what it comes down to. Not opening doors is interesting. They can climb stairs, they can't climb ladders. Scale walls, that means we can scale walls, I guess maybe the vaulting kind of thing. So as long as they give you ways to get away, that's fine. Whatever their parameters are, I have no problem with that. Can't open doors, so you have to barricade the doors. How does that work? Do you push a dresser in front? I don't know, you just close the door. I don't know. But they're slower zombies, slower than you. You should be able to get away from them, is basically what I take out of that. Will we be able to enter all buildings? No. Just like DayZ. You'll be able to enter only some of the buildings. This is where it gets chunky. As game goes on, we'll be adding more and more interiors. And no, there won't be any loading screen instances or anything when you're entering a building. So, I mean, this is what happens when you take an engine for another purpose and you convert it over to a game like this. It's the same thing with DayZ with Arma. It's the same thing with WarZ engine. It's just the limitations of making a game very quickly. If you saw a team like, let's say they took DayZ and they threw them over EA and said, build a zombie game from scratch, it'd be very different. They don't have access to an engine like Frostbite 2, which is a tremendous engine, hugely detailed. Possibilities are endless. Frostbite 2 is literally limited by the consoles right now for what we're seeing. If they were to make, maybe they do, tell me, if they were to make a PC-only game, like a crisis-level requirement on PC with the Frostbite 2 engine, we'd be wowed. And that's not a knock on anybody, that's just how it is, because low-end PCs would have a hard time too. It's not against consoles or anything. But these guys are using clunkier engines, bottom line. Arma 2's terribly optimized. And WarZ, from what I've heard from people who have gone and tried WarZ to get a little insight into what WarZ is going to be, it's a very arcadey engine. While it might not be an old engine, you get the feeling that it's a 7 or 8 year old engine. So I'm a little worried about the engine, but that's what happens when you get these independent games that are kind of, trying to build these independent gaming platforms. So that's just something we got to live with. How much you'll be able to enter, not enter, is going to be tough. I dislike that a great deal about DayZ. I'm glad that DayZ standalone is going to be working on that again. We don't know how much. This is a thumbs down so far from what I'm reading here. But I understand why that is. Will we be able to build our own fortifications? And he says, this is one of the things we're working on right now. I think there's a point down below where they talk about clan bases and stuff, so I'll get to that later. So I just wanted to put that up there. That's a popular question I got, so I just wanted to kind of tease you a little bit and listen to later. It's just how I found out things in the FAQs. Oh, here we go. Here's a longer one, but it's fairly important, I guess. How will the in-game marketplace and currency dollars and gold work? We use both the game currencies to basically kind of show value of items, to set up expectations of how rare and valuable items are. As we expect players to use whatever they want as trade currency. Maybe you'll decide that Twinkie bars will be your world currency. We don't really care. You can get both types of currencies by playing, but more important, you can find any single item in the world. I.e., we're not planning on having items that you can only buy in a store and not be able to find elsewhere. Basically, you can't buy weapons, you can't buy skills, you can't buy protective gear, armor, those types of things. Everything in Marketplace will be sold for either dollars, money that you find in the game world, or gold. I guess dollars are money that you find in the game. This is a little confusing. Dollars is money you can find in the game world. So in essence, if you found a post-apocalyptic bank, it would have money laying around. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like dollars out of my PayPal account. Or gold. And gold is a currency you receive for selling harvested zombie stem cells. You can also buy gold using real-world currency. I have no idea what the whole zombie stem cells is. I apologize. I should probably research that a little more. That sounds out of left field to me. I guess that's how you quote-unquote farm a little. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that more. And gold, I know you can, therefore, take, say, I'm just using PayPal to distinguish out of game, and buying gold to then buy vanity items and food and things is what they let you buy. 70 to 80% of things in the marketplace will be sold for dollars. So unless you play the game a lot, you won't be able to buy them anyway. Everything that is sold in the marketplace is available for free in-game. Things like food, water, etc. So anything you can buy, anything you can fast-track by buying with real-world money is also going to be available in-game. You just have to find it. They're not going to be selling you unique items to distinguish yourself. That's not what they're planning right now. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens, though, once they start making some real money. Reason for Marketplace is simple. We just offering players more freedom. What they want to do in-game. Maybe they just want adventure, so they spend time killing zombies, hunting for bandits, etc., and they receive some in-game currency for that. So they spend it to buy their food instead of spending time trying to find it in the world. Yeah, I get that. I mean, as long as it's things like food and whatnot, I don't have a huge problem with it, especially since there is no animals in the game, from what I've read. So we don't have the method like we would in DayZ where you kill an animal to regen health. I don't think that's going to be... I don't know if food does that or if food you just need to eat to maintain life. Yet to be seen. We don't sell weapons or other things that can affect the power balance. Obviously I touched that. Only consumable items and clothes. So, you know, they're going to sell clothes, but you can find it in game. I've seen a picture. I'm going to put, maybe I'll put it right here, a picture of the newest female male skins. There's not a lot of clothing options that I see. So that'll be interesting. But I mean, I understand why they would sell that. That's something you can always add new clothes and get and gain revenue from. That doesn't surprise me all that much. So it seems to be they're gonna sell fringe things, frilly things, vanity things. I did read other places that they might sell instant spawns. Now, if you're not familiar, the normal mode, the plans right now is if you die in normal mode, you have a temporary lock out of that character for 24 to 48 hours. So you're running Northwest Airfield, let's say, I'm just using the DayZ scenario, you're sniped, you're dead. That character is now locked out for 24 hours. It's not permadeath, it's not gone. You can be looted, as far as I understand. You better be able to be looted, or that would be crazy. Maybe you can't, that would be terrible. I have to read up on that. But you're locked out of that character. You have 5 character slots you can use. So you can move on, play another character, but that character slot is blocked out. What they're saying is you might be able to buy an instant spawn token, or whatever you want to call it, for real world money, so that you could redeem that token and then instantly play that character again. That starts to get dicey to me, because, you know, if I kill somebody and he's over there, I know he's dead, and suddenly he does some instant spawn token, even if it doesn't spawn right there, it says it's you spawn in the general vicinity, suddenly I'm assuming my threat to the left is dead. Now there's some guy running out of the tree line at me that I just killed 5-10 minutes ago. That's going to be some imbalance. I could see some problems with that. Hopefully they're fleshing that out and thinking that out a little bit better. But I guess that's what beta's for, I suppose. Will there be incentives for players to cooperate with each other? And will there be a reputation humanity system? Your reputation will affect how other players react to you. Well, how you show your reputation is the question. It will affect how security forces of safe settlements react. So obviously you're going to have NPC guards that are going to enforce some sort of law or restrict access to the bad guys in these safe zones. This is very much MMO, and like I've said, WarZ is very much going the MMO route. I can see huge game-breaking problems with this system. If they do it well, it can work. They just have to watch out and be very careful. So technically, yes, you can kill everyone you can see, but then you may end up in a situation that you'll be denied help by other players. So I don't know if there's a bandit scenario like in DayZ where you turn bandit so people can see you and see that you're a bad guy. They're going to avoid you. You're not trustable. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to do something like that. You'll be denied help by other players just because they don't like your reputation level. Maybe there'll just be a bar, a reputation, you know, you'll see that. I don't know. Once again, not because we said so, but because they just may decide they don't want to help you. They don't want to help a jerk is what it actually says. Yeah, so there's going to be some form of reputation symbol. How they're going to express that in game, I do not know yet. They're going to have to express that somehow if they're, you know, counting on this type of interaction. Like I said, I mean, if you want to make it just so, I mean, you have these certain clothes, you kill somebody, the clothes get blood on them. It could be subtle like that, where, you know, you have to actually recon a guy, look at him, and say, okay, now, whereas that's probably what it's going to be, is that you highlight somebody, he's like red, because he's a bad guy. You know, like, that's cheesy. Like, keep the effort in there. I have to figure out if this guy's bad, that type of thing. Or if you kill a player and you take his items, those items are covered in blood, as signifying I had to kill to get these. So if, let's say, I kill a guy with a ballistic vest, I headshot him, he goes down. I loot his ballistic vest, I put it on me. Well, now the shoulders are covered in blood to show that I killed to get this item. So therefore, when, you know, I stumble across that guy later, I can look, he's covered in blood. I'm not trusting that guy. Would you? You know, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of ways to do this. It's just a matter of how creative they want to get into it, how much effort they want to put into it. But I think that's an important thing they have to get right. That is the foundation of all the interaction in the game. If you make it just so I hover across the guy 100 yards away and he's red, which means he's a bandit or a bad guy, well, I'm opening fire. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm using the mechanics of the game to do the work for me. I don't like that. So we know games that do that. A lot of games do that. You know, that's pretty standard. But I hope they'd be a little more creative about it, is what I'm saying, more or less. How rare will ammo be? It'll be more rare than weapons itself. So I'll just say it. It'll be a pretty rare and valuable thing. I'm online with this. Imagine the world just gone. You'd probably find guns in just about every house. Guns are big, bulky, heavy. If you're in the survival mode, what's more valuable than guns? Ammo. It's small, not as heavy. It's, you know, transportable, and it probably be used as currency, obviously. Honestly, I mean. So I like the idea of guns everywhere. Ammo's limited. I think that would almost make ammo a currency in game. It would be a trade item. It would be a show of power. I mean, if you're a big clan, it doesn't really matter how many players you have. Obviously, that's a big thing. But how well armed are they? How much ammo do you have behind every player? That would be a big thing. I like that route. I think that's a good way to balance things, because ammo being the key. Ammo is a consumable resource. So that would be the motor that drives the game. That's what would drive the clans to fight each other. That would drive them to farm and hunt and do all that stuff, looking for more ammo. Whereas if it's guns, once you have a gun, it's with you until you die. Ammo is consumable. It's always better, I feel, to put the focus on consumable, or the weight on consumable items. Otherwise, people just get too rich, and they get lazy, they get tired, they start griefing people, and that's where your problems come from. Give people a reason to play the game at the end game. What are safe zones exactly? Safe zones will be like 3 to 4 per map, i.e. rare and far away from each other. They mostly serve as social hubs for creating missions for other players, trade and transfer items from your backpacks to your stash global inventory. They're protected but not entirely safe. Nobody prevents a bandit to snipe people in safe zones from far away. Nobody prevents a group of bandits to attack a settlement and kill everyone. The rest of the world, towns, villages, and other settlements are for players to explore and claim as their own. Alright, so the way I read it is safe zones are safe from zombies. Now, here's the thing that I get confused on. It says right here, nobody prevents bandit groups to attack a settlement and kill everyone. But just up above, we talked about reputation, and they said if you're a jerk and you're a bandit, NPC guards are going to attack you. So, I mean, which is it? Do I have to have a group and I can kill these guards? Which would be fine. Like, I like the idea. If I'm a little Joey Innocent, running through a town maybe, and all of a sudden a squad of 20, 30 bandits comes running through, kills guards, wipes out everybody. I think that's cool. I mean, even though it would probably piss me off at the time, that would be cool. And as a bigger group of endgame players, That's a cool thing to do. Let's go do that. And it would make the game a lot more immersive, a lot cooler to me. Log out, Alt F4 abuse. If you want to quit a game, you'll need to disconnect from server first, like in all MMOs out there. There'll be a pause between you quitting and actually disconnecting. Pressing Alt F4, shutting down a game, disconnect from the internet will be treated the same. Your character will remain in the world for some time until the game server forcibly disconnects you. I agree with this. I understand why DayZ doesn't have this. It's not in the game. But this is the route that DayZ should go to stop F4. You make a delay. I don't know what the time would be. Make it 5 minutes. Or, you can instant log out if you set up a campfire or a campsite. Or a tent. Use a tent, and that's an instant log out spot. But otherwise, there's a 5-minute timer from when, you hit quit to when it quits you. Whether you stay in the game or if you close the game, your character stays on the server. It doesn't even have to be 5 minutes. Make it a minute. Make it 2. Whatever. So you have to go find a safe place, hide, log out, pray your guy's still there when you get there. It's a dangerous world. It would eliminate all the combat logging out, all the frustrations with that, and it would fix a lot of problems. So this sounds fine to me, and I think this is sort of the system DayZ is going to go when they go standalone. Will there be incentives for being a kill-on-site bandit? 1, yes, we're planning to have a last stand explosive device, so it'll be much more dangerous to open a loot pack. What? No, don't do this. What is this, Call of Duty now? Last stand, guy sliding on his ass shooting you with a handgun? No. The fight is when 2 guys are alive fighting each other. Don't make it now so I walk up and the guy's got an explosive in his backpack that I'm looting because I'm in the middle of a firefight. I earned that loot. I killed the guy. Don't get cheeky with it. Leave this alone. Hopefully this will come out in beta. Who walks around with a last stand explosive on his backpack when there's no hospitals and doctors around? Come on. That's just silly. You want to tell me he poisoned some food in there? Okay. So you take the food down the road, you eat it, die. That could be. But I'm not walking around with dynamite strapped to my, my Alice pack just in case somebody headshots me from a mountain. Get rid of that. More civilians will kill you. The more civilians you kill, worse your reputation is. So you'll be denied access to safe settlements. You'll be attacked on sight. You still can go to Bandit's hideout, but here's some perspective. For the Colorado map, we'll have 1 Bandit's hideout and around 3 safe settlements. So there's going to be a safe settlement for bandits, which, okay, that's fine with me. This is going to be a clusterfuck. All the non-trustable, disreputable players are going to be collected in one area. Sounds cool to me, actually. There's going to be obviously some way to tell bad people. We just don't know what it is yet. The person you killed can go to a safe settlement, access global mission board, and create a new mission for everybody to access. And this mission will basically hunt you down and kill you for a reward. It's a bounty system. I go kill somebody. He goes to a safe zone whenever he's unlocked or whatever the case may be, punches in my name, puts up some form of reward. I don't know if that's in-game money, where that comes from, whatever, and says to the guy, you can go hunt this guy down over on Green Mountain and kill him, you'll get a reward. Alright, sounds pretty cool. These things tend to not get used in other games. They're kind of cool, they're for marketing, but they never really get used. So if they can get people to use them, it could be interesting. But it could also be just never used. Last but not least, if you become really notorious bandit, your name will be posted to the most wanted list, and a reward in gold will be posted for your head. Just an extension of that. That's cool. I can see people trying to just get on that list. That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it'll really affect many people's gameplay anyway. Is WarZ pay to win? My 2 cents, if I may. This is not mine. This is the poster. There will be a very limited number of things you can buy using gold. For example, 90% of food is only sold for dollars. Notes you find in the game world while scavenging. Only a few items are sold for gold. Differences between them and normal food is that they're more effective. Now, suppose I bought them before going into the game world. I stocked my backpack full of military REM packs. MREs, a lot of people call them. It must be a Euro thing. Next, I spawn in a world along with a player who didn't do it. He'll be able to find food right away, very close to his spawn. Our only difference is that going forward, we'll be able to eat his food less often. So the person who finds the food in the game has to eat every hour. Me, who buys the real money. I guess they said it doesn't have to be money, real world money, huh? You buy food through a marketplace. Whether you stock your account with real money or you use dollars that you got from farming in games necessarily. The MREs, you'll have to eat once every 2 hours. So there'll be an advantage to it. I don't think it's a game-breaking advantage. They're saying it's It's convenient, so it's you're paying for convenience. I'm okay with this as long as it's balanced out, you know. And he can also find that MRE pack in the game, so it's not an exclusive item that's only available to buy. Then I'm okay with it. Basically, they're saying they're selling convenience, not advantage. I don't have a problem with things like this. What I do, and like I raised earlier, the instant spawn token thing you can buy. I don't see any mention of that here. I've read it elsewhere. Maybe that's just in the thought. Like it's in just a development process. I don't know. But stuff like that is where I get a little more worried. How safe will safe zones actually be? I'm sorry, this is all jumbled around. I probably should organize it a little better. Stream of consciousness kind of thing. You can kill anyone near or inside safe settlements. There's no such thing as a real, true safe zone. We never, whatever, that's fine. Just talking about the forums. What we have are fortified settlements that are safe from zombies. This is like I said, not from other players. Yet, if you try to kill anyone within a safe settlement, you'll be attacked by guard systems. Doesn't mean you'll be instantly killed. So if you're extremely lucky, you'll still have a chance. So, alright, it sounds to me like the guards are not god modes. It's not one hit kills, you're dead. Again, like I said before, bandits can run through and kill everybody, so it sounds to me like the guards are killable themselves. So it would take a pretty big force to do that. Whether that's realistic or not, we don't know yet. Safe zones from just zombies, I'm okay with that as long as players can kill people in there. There should be no true safe zone. But if you want to tell me there's some kind of little village that's been fortified and has some NPCs that stand guard, and in the storyline the zombies can't get in, but they're all around it outside, still a danger area, but once I get inside I can exhale a little bit and maybe enter in some trade with players in there. I think that would be okay. Again, the concept, the theory is solid. I'm okay with it. It's all in the implementation. So we'll see what they do. We won't know until we play the game. In the FAQ, there's a mention of houses. Can we create our own houses and how? And they go on to say, let me explain. On a public server, you can find a place and claim it as yours. Defend it against zombies and other players. Set up weapon and ammo caches there. This will be a dangerous idea. I agree, it's a dangerous idea. It's all about the implementation. The thing that jumps out to mind of me is, like, let's think Devil's Castle in DayZ. Imagine you and your group, your clan, whatever you want to call it, go there and they claim it. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's a mechanic in the game that you like go in and you sign up and you say, this clan owns this, and then another clan can maybe come around, kill you, and then they can claim it. I don't know. And maybe like certain caches in the buildings are then accessible to only you guys, because they do have a clan system. It's a dangerous idea to do, I guess, to undertake in the game. It's basically almost like a king of the hill. You're saying, this is ours, come get it, come at me, bro. But I think it's also a dangerous idea for the developers, because if they don't do this well, this could be a game breaker. Also, we will be having smaller maps, and this is kind of where it gets interesting, and again, it's a little dangerous. So there's no official name for it yet. So far, we'll call it mini worlds. I call it instances, and I think that's what most people call it. It's from what it sounds like from reading. Size of those will be like a big map in War Inc. I don't know what that is, but it says approximately 4 to 6 square kilometers. So that's pretty big. That's a lot bigger than I first thought. In the center of the map, there will be some things. Perhaps a fortification or a villa on a riverbank. Players can rent this instance and everything they do there, like set up caches, raise fortifications, etc. These will be permanent. This is how clans and players can set up their own private fortifications. On this micro maps, the zombies will also be spawned, but outside the settlements. Yes, there'll be a big price to pay for that. Your character will receive a bad reputation and... What? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Disregard that. I don't see that. It must have been left in from something else. So basically what it is, it's mini instances of 4 to 6 square miles. I don't know how this is going to be accessed. Like, do you go to the edge of the map? And I think the key to this is accessible to enemies. So if I'm a clan and I have an enemy clan on the same server, can we attack our bases? Or is it only accessible to guild, or, sorry, I'm going back to World War, those types of games, clan members? I don't know. And I'd have to think about that a lot more, and hopefully they are. The ideas of an instance with a central camp for a clan or whatever, I think is good, because I think driving clans to take part as clans is a good idea, because people would naturally gravitate together in this type of a situation. So I think that's good to placate towards those groups and teams. Having a fortification would be really cool. Where you could stockpile supplies and food and ammo. But my feeling is it can't be 100% secure. That's the only thing. It has to be losable. The enemy has to be able to come in and attack that. I'm not sure how to do that, because what keeps the enemy from coming on at 3:30 in the morning, their local time, and just attacking when none of the members are awake. That's a tough thing to deal with in code and design. So there has to be some kind of danger there. It can't be 100% safe, and I don't know how I would do that, but I hope they're thinking about it, because this could be massively overpowered. You could have one good clan with a little instance, and they just have tons of things stockpiled there. They can just constantly fight and kill people without any risk of losing their bigger assets, and that's a problem. Will the skill tree be more like stamina and strength, etc., or is it going to be like actual skills that you can learn while surviving in the situation, like fire making, etc., and not skills like faster reload speed, etc.? First of all, there will be no levels. You do not level in this game. You earn points that you can spend on training. So for the skill tree, think of it more as a training camp. That's where the player has the opportunity to decide if they would like to improve, for example, strength or stamina, and be able to focus on the more physical attributes and improve those skills so that they can run faster and longer. Or do they want to focus on weapons training, improve their aim, or to reload their weapons faster? I was with him. If you want to tell me the guy went to the safe zone and did push-ups, so now he can carry more in his backpack, I'm okay with that. If the guy works out a lot and does a lot of cardio work, and he can now sprint twice as long as my stronger, bulky guy that can carry more, okay, I'm with that. There's a check and there's a balance. But to be able to train to aim better, to have better aim, to reload faster, these are not good ideas to me. Like I've said before, if I'm on a hill and I'm reconning a potential group that we're looking to engage, I can look at the guy and see one's got a saw, one's got an AS-50, there's 2 AR-15s. I know what I'm in for then. I have a fight on my hands, and I can gauge them whether I want to engage or not. Even the whole, one guy's bulky, so he's carrying a lot of crap in his backpack. He got a backpack full of grenades. The little sniper's kind of quick, so he might try to flank us. These are tangible things I can see. I can deduce from them how I want to handle this engagement, if I want to engage at all. Once you start having guys training up on like in-game skills on aim, so I'm imagining like if you improve your aim through skill points, the cone of your bullets shrinks. And now it's less about player skill, it's more about grinding and getting these points. So now when I look at these people and I kind of recon them and try to decide if I engage them, there's skills there that I don't know about. Now, some of you say, hey, that's life, that's true. And that's true. I just would prefer to keep the playing field completely level. Aim is on the player skill. Weapons reload faster, I mean, so what's the threshold on that? Are we going to have an AS-50 reloading really fast? Bolt actions are as quick as MPG, or LMGs? Or, no, SMGs is what I'm trying to say. I worry about this. And this, to me, could be another game breaker. Think this out, guys, please. Like I said, attributes and things or non-combat skills, like perhaps tracking, or like where you can look at a track and see where someone, like what direction someone was running, or farming. I think did they say there's farming? I don't remember. I think they said they're possibly working on it, but things like that, non-combat skills, okay. But if you're going to start reducing the cone of bullets, or reducing recoil through skill trees, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I don't know. Remain to be seen. That's what a beta's for. So those are just the points I have, guys. I'm already gone on for about 30 minutes. It's a very long video. I don't know if I'm going to cut this into 2 or just put it up in one shebang. I'm not sure about that yet. But those are the biggest things that kind of jumped out at me that are formulating my opinion on WarZ, and hopefully yours as well. If I miss some things, please post them for me. I'm trying to, like I said, get educated. I'm going to be honest with you. I love some of the things they talk about. But the undertaking of putting some of these things in there, to put them in right, is going to be tremendous. So I do have my doubts if they can pull this off. I do. I have to be honest. As much as I want this game to be a success, I have some concern. I am a bit skeptical. That doesn't mean they don't have my support. I hope they pull it off, as does DayZ. And I'm going to be paying attention. I'm just not going to get my hopes up, as we all should have learned by now we shouldn't do with any game, frankly. I hope it works out. I hope it's fun. But I'm going to cut it off there because my son is crying, so back to daddy duties. No more gaming. So, guys, I hope you found it interesting. I hope you're kind of looking forward to this game as I do. if you're interested, I might do one of these type of things for DayZ, the standalone. Look into where that's going. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. I'm probably going to be researching it regardless, so whether I put it together a video or not is not that much more work. And let me know what your thoughts are on the WarZ. You leaning towards getting it, leaning towards not? What are your concerns? What are your favorite things you like about it? And let me know what you think. That's what this is all about. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, like, favorite, retweet it to your friends. I appreciate all the support. And I will do my best to reply to every comment. So take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon.